Hello everyone and welcome back to a new video, this time from the Drivers Room Sunday League Season 4, Round 3 at Tier 1. So today we are back at the high-speed ring in the Amuse S2000 and believe it or not, last time we were in these rides in DRSL was 4 years ago. In the reverse layout of a high-speed ring, um, and it was fully rained. And this time we have no rain um, on the radar, so it's looking to be a dry race. And yeah, let's see what the gang can do for this one. And yeah, let's head down to the grid and then send these boys off for round 3. All right, here we are at the grid, and let's see where everyone qualified so we can send these boys off for round 3. Starting off in P1 then, we have Jim Clark. We have Michael there in Suki's car from Too Fast, Too Furious in P2. We have Alain Prost there in P3. Um, we have Dallers in P4. Mercer P5. In P6 we have Scruffy. P7 we have Milinkovic and Grim finishing off the field in the back in P8. I also want to say that this will be the last time we have success ballast or power restrictors. Um, turns out the power restrictors and success ballast is just a little too unbalanced, and we've decided to go back to just pure racing. And yeah, we're gonna let everyone race, and I think that's gonna be a lot better. All right, let's get down to the race. All right, here we go. Waiting for 5 lights to go dark. As Michael is on 10% power restrictor, Scruffy 15, and Dollars 5. Good start from Jim Clark as Michael is just not able to keep up in the very beginning, as we see Dollars going on the inside of Michael. Make the move up to P2. We have Alan Prost there in P3 now. Too fast all the way down in P4. Oh, as we see Alain Prost oversteering into the turn 2, and yeah, hitting the wall there. The curbs are very dangerous for this car after the physics update that we had on Thursday. So the cars behave a lot differently than previous. So yeah, these cars are definitely a little bit more ruly. As we see Jim Clark passing to start lap 2, as we see Michael just behind Dowlers. He's able to keep up the speed to 280, but as soon as he goes out of the slipstream of Dollars, he loses that speed straight away. I think he has about 30 or 60 horsepower less than Dollars as he scratches the wall there. Gets the better exit out of turn 2 and moves himself up into P2. That livery, Suki livery from Too Fast, Too Furious, is a very, very beautiful livery. I'm not a very fan of the color pink, but yeah, it fits the car so well. So we see that was done. You see trying to go for a move on Michael down turn 1. As we see, Jim Clark has gotten himself a gap down to the rest. And Michael is able to hold off Dollars for the moment. We have Mercer in P4, just in front of Scruffy. And yeah, Scruffy with 15%, so he's probably at around 60-70 horsepower difference, taking off his car. Definitely something that you notice, because he's not going to be able to push the car into 7th gear. Yeah, he's not able to push the car into 7th gear. As you see, Grim as well in front of Milinkovic. We have Milinkovic in the Spoon livery, and Alan in the NSX livery. Definitely a car that you need to really treat with respect, otherwise it will snap and send you barreling into the wall. You do see Michael has gotten himself a gap down to Dowlers, despite being on the 2nd highest power restrictor. Mercer done, 280. Able to do 290 before the braking. No BOP in this race. BOP actually changes some settings for the downforce in the cars as well. We do have that for Tier 2, so we're gonna see that in the next video, what the difference is, but let me tell you, the difference is noticeable in Tier 2. As we see Mercer going through the final turn to start lap 6. He has got Scruffy right behind them. Unusual to see Scruffy this far down, but yeah, the power restrictor is really restricting his ability to fight in the top. As we see Grim, P6. The man that keeps on improving, Milinkovic. Spoon livery looking very good on the Amuse. As we see Alan struggling a little bit more after his little initial spin in turn 2 at lap 1. Jim still in the lead. Just no challenge there tonight for Jim. As we see Dowlers now having to defend against Mercer. Mercer going on the high line into turn 1. Does he have to move? Mercer has to move and gets himself up in the P3. Beautiful and nice overtake there from Mr. Driver's Room himself. Podium position now for the organizer. Dowler's looking to fight back. .5% power restrictor really is enough for Mercer to just glide on by Dowlers. As we see Dowlers now about to be under attack from Speedy Sweetie. Scruffy be able to make a move on Dowlers here? Dowlers trying to cover off the inside into the S's. Oh, careful with the curbs, Dowlers. Careful with the curbs. As we see McLaren now. Very close to Dowlers. Will Scruffy be able to do anything? Yes, he has used a lot of tires now. He's going for the move. Down the main straight into turn 1 now. Even with 15% power restrictor and Dowlers with 5, Scruffy is able to make the move. And he's going to try and take up the fight to Mercer as well. It's going to be very difficult as we see Dowlers on the inside into turn 2. Scruffy is still able to keep his position. As he stays in P4. We have Grim still in P6. Oh, the rear tire has really taken a beating there on Grim's car. We see Milinkovic has been a little nicer to the rear right, and Alan has been pushing. Damn near half the rear right has gone. As we see Jim Clark then through turn 1, and he's got a good gap down to Michael, but his tires are starting to take a beating. Michael even with 10%, I think it is restrictor, he is able to keep up a decent tempo. Decent pace now for Michael. As we see Mercer in P3 there. I love the Golf livery from Mercer. It's so classic from Mr. Driver's Room. do see the tire wear on Mercer's car as well, very high on the rear right. So definitely the rear right is the tire that gets tortured the most, because it's the one that grips the most out of these left-handers. Oh, as we see a little scraping there from Scruffy and Dowlers through the last turn. Turn 2, I mean. And they're going to struggle into this one. It's a very slow, very tight left-hander. Too much throttle into the tunnel, and it will be a spin. So far, the boys have been able to keep up a steady and balanced entry into the tunnel. Not too much throttle, not too little. So Scruffy chasing Mercer, but we can see how much the power restrictor is choking the Swedes. What am I trying to say? Choking his performance. That's probably what I was trying to say. How much the performance loss is between. Oh, as we see, Scruffy has spun. Alright, let's see with Scruffy then. Oh, his rear tire just gives out and he spins into turn 2. Ay, ay, ay. We see Grim coming through and takes P5 then. P6 for Scruffy, as his rear tire is very, very cooked. He needs to try and stay out for 15 minutes at least. As that will definitely make sure there's a 1 stop and not a 2 stop. Milinkovic, man, that spoon livery is beautiful. Fits so well to that car. As we see Michael into the pits already. The refuel multiplier is very slow, so he's going to be sitting for a while. As we see Mercer Dowlers all into the pits. Grim opting for another lap. So that puts Grim into P2. We have Milinkovic in P3 for the moment. Alan still in P8. So Grim doing very well, despite his tires being pretty cooked. What about Alan? He's gone into the pits now. He has been into the wall. As we see front splitter and rear diffuser damage on his car. As we see smoking tires there for Jim. As he goes through the last turn into the pits now. And gonna get some new boots. There's nearly nothing left on that rear right. As we see Grim, is he gonna go for another lap? No, he dives into the pits as well. As we see Milinkovic also into the pits now. And Michael then coming through the last turn will take back P2. As we see Jim is coming out of the pits there. So Michael has done a remarkable job of getting himself into P1. Nice undercut there from Michael, or overcut, whatever the word is for it. As we see Mercer right on the top two's heels now. Maybe Mercer can capitalize on any mistakes these two make, which is quite rare. but maybe he can capitalize. So we see Jim Clark and Michael coming through the tunnel. We have Mercer also following closely behind. The fact that Michael is able to keep up this pace with 10% less power, as we see Alan in the background, foreground there, about to be lapped by these two turbo guys, 3 turbo guys. Jim is closing in a lot. Like I said, Jim is not on a power restrictor. He didn't win round 1. He didn't race in round 2 because he didn't have the car required, and he hasn't been slapped with a power restrictor. So Dowler's too fast and Scruffy, the power restrictor handicaps. As we see Mercer not able to keep up with the pace of the 2 in front. We do see now Jim Clark has a run on Michael. So he's going to go for the move and take P1 back from Michael. Beautiful start-finish straight overtake there from Jim. Michael is able to keep up in the twisties though. So there's that, but when it comes to the straight, it's just no power. See now that Jim is just gonna inch away now. Nothing Michael can do. Can't even go into 7th gear. Mercer through turn 2, so he's a corner behind already. That is the speed difference between Michael and Jim. So we see Dowlers in P4. He's going to try and keep P4 at least. As we have Grim and Scruffy. Or Giclaren as he's called, behind Grim. Even with 15%, he's giving Grim a good fight. So Giclaren definitely a very, very fast driver despite his restrictor. He's able to keep up a blasting pace versus Grim. Blistering pace. As we see Milankovic there in the background. Scruffy on the inside then of Grim into turn 1, and he is moving himself up into P5. Grim has a better exit, more speed, and Scruffy is unfortunately pushed back again. But better exit, maybe a little too much scraping in turn 2 there for Scruffy. He's able to keep up a higher pace in the twisties. McLaren. But it's so difficult with the power restrictor, as we see Grim almost spinning out from that left-hander into the tunnel. Milikovic, we have Alan in turn 1 there. We have Jim Clark in turn 1 as well, with Michael in tow. As we see, 280 to almost 290, and Michael doesn't even reach 280. A lot of scraping. This could be net code. They might not be scraping the walls on their screen. As you see Mercer in P3. Towers, we have Scruffy. He has gotten himself a gap down to Grim now. So Jim just in a league of his own right now, not being challenged at all by Michael. Well, Michael doesn't really have a chance. Can't say I'm sad to see the success ballast and power restrictors go after this one. It's been decided that this is the last race. There's just a very... as we see, Alan has spun there again. It's just very difficult to find the balance and to balance the power restrictor and weight, success weights, because the success ballast is not only giving the car more weight, but it's also upsetting the delicate balance the cars already have with success ballast. So let's say you have a very light car, like a old Formula car, and you put more weight into that car than it should be, it could potentially just upset the balance so much that the car becomes near undrivable. And some cars are just more twitchy than others, and if you put more weight in them, yeah, they will definitely behave a lot differently. They will be absolute, sorry for saying this, shit boxes to drive. They will be so difficult to drive that even the most professional will struggle with them. And we decided to scrap the success ballast for Season 4 and try power restrictors, but as we see, a beautiful drift there from Jim Clark into the tunnel. Holy shit. Oh, I'm sorry for the S-bombs, but wow. Beautiful drift there from Jim Clark. As we try to finish off the talk about power restrictors, and power restrictors just seems to be too punishing for DRSL and Tier 1. So let's just keep people racing instead of thinking about, oh, now I'm gonna win, I'm gonna get slapped with 15% power restrictor and it's gonna ruin my performance altogether. As we see Alan then right behind Mercer, a lap behind. Very unlucky there from Alan. That's 2 spins into turn 2 now for Alan. Definitely not his race. We know that Alan is very fast. He is more or less on the level on the top 3 guys. But yeah, this race has been difficult. The new physics update has definitely messed up with a lot of people's driving styles. And like Tiffany said, I don't really get why after 2 years Polyphony changes the physics model And it seems like when you let off the throttle, the car will turn in, and as soon as you punch the throttle, it will understeer into the wall. And yeah, it's gonna take some getting used to, I guess. As we see Dowlers then, a little bit of contact to the wall in the last corner. But Dowler seems to be struggling a lot more with his 5% reduction. But I will say this, even with the spoon livery that Milikovic has, the S2000 is a beautiful piece of machinery. It's kind of like the Mazda RX-7. The Honda S2000 is unique. It's a very, very beautiful car, the S2000. I don't know the backstory of how this thing was created or why it was created, but the S2000 is definitely a beauty to behold. Beautiful front end, beautiful back rear end of this vehicle. So we see a little bit more scraping in the wall there for Dowlers, as that will give Scruffy a chance to close in. And we do see him closing in quite a bit now. The tire wear are more or less the same between Giclaren and Dowlers. Dowlers has to be careful, as we have 1 minute remaining of this race. Grimnan in P6, we have Milikovic P7, Alan in P8. Jim Clark there, P1. And we have Michael there in P2. Mercer done a very good job tonight, very great job of getting himself into the podium. Can't say it enough. I love the Golf livery as Mercer, Michael, and Jim Clark heads off to do another lap. As we see, it will be a finish for Dowlers and Giclaren, P4 and P5 and P6 there for Grim. We have P7 for Milinkovic. So tried to stay out of trouble. A little bit of slide there through the start-finish straight there for the Irish. As we see Alan in P8. And Jim Clark then, very dominating in today's race. The power restrictor worked in Jim Clark's favor for the win of this one. As we see slalom, a slalom finish and a slide for Jim Clark there, as we see Michael into P2. And we have Mercer in P3 with Alan in tow. That was it for round 3. And very exciting little race there from the Tier 1 boys. High-speed ring, yeah. We've been to this track for 3 or 4 weeks in a row now within the driver's room. We've had ADEC do it. We've had DRTT do it, and DRSL now. So I don't think we had this in DRFS last season. But this track has been featured a lot in the last few weeks, and I hope we're done with high-speed ring for a while. But it is an original track. It is classic. But yeah, I hope we're done with High Speed Ring for a little bit. But until the race, yeah, the power restrictor that's gone for around 4, and I think we're gonna have a more exciting season now in Tier 1 with the power restrictor and success ballast stuff gone from our minds, and we can actually do some racing again in Tier 1. It's a good idea behind the success ballast and the power restrictor, but ultimately more balance needs to be done with those things. Maybe in the future we could go back and look at it again, but for now it's gone for the future races. So with that in mind, I have been Slingshot Cherberg. I hope you all enjoyed round 3. Round tier 2 should also be live by the time this video goes out. So yeah, I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.